Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. The Israelites have been scattered across the four corners of the earth, as prophesied in Deuteronomy, the 20th chapter. Here in Israel United in Christ, we need your help to recover the remnant of our people, teach them the gospel. Please help us, support us, and join or donate to the Booster Club today. Shalom.
We was on the bottom, yeah. Now we headed to the top, new level. On my level, don't see anybody, I don't see him. This right here could never stop, this could never stop. Ay, this right here could never stop. Hold up, nah, nah. Ay, this right here could never stop. Hold up, nah, nah. Ay, this right here could never stop. Hold up, nah, nah. Ay, this right here could never stop. Hold up, nah, nah. One time, ay. I live on the job, right? Yeah, I'm always at work, right? Real people stay by me, right? Haters wanna do hurt, right? Know they tryna stop me, right? Drag my name through dirt, right? I don't feed into the hate, right? I just answer with a smirk, facts. I feel so special, facts. I know my worth, facts. My bloodline royal, facts. We the kings of the earth, right? You can't stop this.
Acts chapter 13 and verse 14. Because the officer just said, are they teaching us the laws of God at church, right? Have you been taught the laws of God at church?
Bring it out.
You have been taught the laws of God? Okay, what laws have they taught you at church?
Like commandments?
Yeah, like commandments, yeah. Commandments and laws is one of the same.
Thou shalt not kill.
Thou shalt not kill? We're going to actually deal with thou shalt not kill. All praises. But let's read this first. Let's see if the Christian church does this today. Go ahead.
The book of Acts, chapter 13 and verse 14. But when they departed from Perga, they came to Antioch in Pisidia and went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day.
So another word for synagogue is like a church, okay?
Right.
This is the Acts of the Apostles. We are living in the Acts of the Apostles today. The men that you see right here, we are living the Acts of the Apostles because the word action, the word acts is short for action.
Right.
And we are doing the actions that God has commanded us.
That's
So
right.
they went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day, right? Go ahead.
And sat down.
So they sat down. When we sit down, today in the Christian church, when people sit down, what are they doing when you sit down? It starts with an L. Learning. Very good. Go ahead.
And after the reading of the law and...
So after what?
After the reading of the law.
So after the reading of the law, you said your church teaches you thou shalt not kill. Okay? So let's see if they're actually getting into the depths of what it actually means of thou shalt not kill. Go ahead.
And the prophets.
So they read the prophets. One thing, does your church read out of the Old Testament?
Yes, sir.
They read the Old Testament? Oh,
James.
say that again?
Old Testament, the New James.
You mean the King James? Okay. What about you? Did they read the New Testament or Old Testament? New Testament. Have you ever heard any passages from the Old Testament? Seldom, right? Not much? Okay, cool. So read that again.
And after the reading of the law and the prophets, the rulers of the synagogue sent unto them, saying, Ye men and brethren, if ye have any word of exhortation for the people, say on.
In your church, do you see people typically raise their hand and ask the pastor a question? Not really, right? What about you?
Not really.
Not really, right? But we just read the Acts of the Apostles and they did what? They stood up what?
Then the rulers of the synagogue sent unto them, saying, Ye men and brethren, if ye have any word of exhortation for the people, say on.
So, the Bible is telling us that if you go into a synagogue, if you go into a church, the Bible commands us to ask questions. Because guess what? We're reading the same Bible that's in the Christian church today.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, the Bible's a big book. And none of us here know the entire Bible front to back. So with that being said, that would give us more of a reason to want to ask questions to the people that we're seeking the knowledge of God from. Does that make sense? Okay? Now, let me get Proverbs chapter 1. Okay? And I want to deal with you because you said you were 16, right? Okay. Today, in the American society, we have a lot what is called peer pressure, right? Let me ask you, do you get peer pressure? Not at all? Do you have any friends that try to do bad things?
I don't pay attention.
You don't pay attention? Do you have any friends? You do? The buddies that you hang out with, play basketball, stuff like that? Okay, cool. But I want to give you a solution, and we're going to tie into thou shalt not kill, okay? Because that's the commandment that you said your church had taught you, right? Thou shalt not kill. So now I want to ask you real quick. Do I need a gun or a knife to kill somebody?
A gun? No.
Say that again? So I don't need, I could kill, so you say I could kill somebody without using a gun or a knife, right? Now give me some examples on how I could kill somebody without using a gun.
Choking them out?
Without actually like physically touching them is what I mean. Give me some examples. Can't think of it right now?
Sending somewhere else. Oh.
Will you say that again?
Sending somewhere else.
Sending somewhere else?
Somebody else.
So sending somebody else? I'm glad you said that, because we're going to get into that. Read what you got.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 1 and verse 10.
Bring it out.
My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not.
What would be your definition of a sinner? Somebody who does what?
Commit adultery.
Okay, but breaks the commandments, right? That would be labeled as a sinner. Okay, so if sinners entice thee, what's another word for entice? Like influence.
Right.
They influence you. If sinners influence you, right? Go ahead.
If they say, come with us.
Wait, read 1:10 again.
Verse 10. My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not.
Because I know when I was 16 years old, I had a lot of friends who I thought they were my friends, but they really wasn't my friends.
Right.
Because they enticed me to do things that God does not allow.
Bring it out.
And back then, when I was 16, I didn't know nothing about the Bible. You know, I didn't learn about the Bible till I was already an adult. But you have an advantage right now. You have an advantage being 16 years old. If you was to, from this day on, start keeping the commandments, you will have more wisdom than your older uncles that don't keep the commandments.
Right.
So the Bible's saying, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. That means, what does it mean, consent thou not? I'm sorry. Like if they say, yo, we're gonna go rob this candy store, and you say, I consent thou not, what are you doing? Simple word, it starts with an N.
No.
You saying no. You consent thou not, because you ain't down for that.
Right.
So that's what the Bible's instructing us, especially with our young men.
Right.
It goes for us adults too, because even adults, they get peer pressure.
Right.
Because we have men, but have a boy mentality a lot of times nowadays.
Bring it out.
You know what I'm saying? So the Bible says, if sinners entice thee, say no. Consent thou not. Go ahead and look at what they're trying to get you to do. Go ahead.
Verse 11. If they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood.
So if they say, come on, I want you to come with us. Let us lay wait for blood. Make that plain for me. What does it mean? They say, yo, I want you to come with me. We're gonna lay wait for blood. Give me an example of that. What you think that is? Going to kill somebody? Going to rob somebody? Because if I get a man right now, hit him over the head and take his money, is that for the laws of God, or is that against the laws of God?
Bring it out.
Against the laws of God, right?
Right.
So, read it again.
If they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood. Let us lurk privily for the innocent without cause.
let us slay privily for the innocent without cause. We see a lot of that in gangs today.
Right.
Because what they do, they go rob elderly people, you know, people that's minding their business. You got a man coming home from work, he pays his bills, he takes care of his family, and then boom, you got 4 thugs lurking in the dark. You know what I'm saying? This is what the Bible is saying. And who does that? Do Chinese people do that to each other? Do Arab people do that to each other? Do real African people do that to each other? It's only the people that you see on that sign that do that to each other.
Right.
Read on.
Let us swallow them up alive as the grave.
So it said, let us swallow them up alive as the grave. What you think that's going into? So you waiting privily, yeah, you with your homeboys. Y'all say, you know what, we gonna steal this car. We gonna take this man money. Y'all been watching him. Y'all been scoping him for a long time. Now it says, let them swallow him up as the grave. What you think that is? When a grave swallows you up, what happens? Guess what? You bury 6 feet deep.
Right.
And that's what happens when young men at the age of 16, 15, 13, when they get together, they get influenced by the wrong things. Guess what? The innocent person ends up 6 feet underground.
Right. Get out.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what destroys our community. This goes on all the way from Ocala, all the way to Los Angeles.
Right.
All the way to Brazil. All the way to Colombia. All the way to Costa Rica.
Right.
You have young men. You have so-called blacks and Latinos who swallow our people up as the grave.
Right.
Innocent people. Because they want to commit sin. They want to think that they want to live a fast life and get the fast dollar. Read on.
And whole as those that go down into the pit.
Go ahead.
We shall find all precious substance.
We shall find all precious substance. That's what happens when you get a group of young men. They go try to rob a car, break into somebody's house. They get all that precious substance. All what they think is valuable. And what do? They go to the pawn shop. And then, a lot of times they're so ignorant, they forget that it has a serial number on it, and then boom, they end up in jail.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Read that again.
We shall find all precious substance.
Go ahead.
We shall fill our houses with spoil.
So they think that, okay, I just robbed somebody's house. I just got me a 55-inch Sony TV. Now he's gonna bring it into his house. He may have it for a week. And then what happens? You get a knock at the door. Boom, 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 open the door, ATF. That's what happens today. You think that happens today in 2020? You think that happens today? What about you? And you don't think that happens today? Trust me, it does, my brother. It does every day. Trust me. All right, read on.
Verse 14. Cast in thy lot among us. Let us all have one purse.
Read that again.
Cast in thy lot among us. Let us all have one purse.
So all the group of guys, they say, yo, we came up on $5,000. They say, you know what, we all gonna split this money. They think that they are their homeboys just because he broke them off with something that he stole. But then what happens? They get arrested. And now the brother, he ends up getting killed because now he ratted his man out when he thought he was his friend.
Right.
Because he broke him off with a little piece of that money that they stole. You're telling me that doesn't happen today? You ever seen the movie Set It Off with the 4 sisters? You ever seen that movie? All right. So this is what goes on amongst the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. What we're reading is, because we're not going to read in the 10 Commandments, my son, if sin is enticed thee, consent thou not. You're not going to read that verbatim in the 10 Commandments. But the 10 Commandments says, thou shalt not kill. And when we lay wait privily to corrupt the lives of innocent people, try to rob and get over on people, which a lot of young men do today, we're breaking the commandment of thou shalt not kill.
Right.
Because, has your church ever told you that? Did they go into detail on what it means to actually thou shalt not kill? Not really? They just say thou shalt not kill, right? They just say,
They talk.
they talk, okay. Because a lot of people have the philosophy that, well, I haven't murdered nobody, I haven't shot nobody, I haven't stabbed nobody, I haven't choked nobody out, so they say I'm not a murderer. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people have that mentality. You know what I'm saying? But let's read on. Let's go. This is also going in where we're reading about how peer pressure and following the wrong crowd, you get involved in breaking the commandment of thou shalt not kill.
Right.
All right, go ahead.
Verse 15. My son, walk not thou in the way with them.
So God is telling us, my son, don't follow their steps.
Right.
And we're not saying that you're doing it because you said you don't. And you know what? For the most part, I believe you. You know what I'm saying? Because you seem like a honest young man. You know what I'm saying? You're here. You could be doing anything else right now. But God put you in front of us for a reason.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I guarantee you, the passages that we're reading right now, you're not going to hear it in the Christian church.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're not going to get in detail on what it means to actually kill somebody.
Bring it
Okay?
out.
Let me get Psalms 19 and 7. All right? I want to ask you something. Can we be perfect? Do you think we could be perfect? You don't think so? What about you? Do you think we could be perfect? You think we can be perfect? That's an excellent answer. Because the Bible says that we could be perfect.
That's
And I'm going to prove it to you on what makes us perfect.
Bring it out.
Now, it's not saying that we're not going to make mistakes where I'm going to pour myself a cup of soda and accidentally spill it. You know, no, that's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? But what does it actually mean to be perfect according to God? All right? Let's see what makes us perfect. Read that.
The book of Psalms, chapter 19 and verse 7.
Read out.
The law of the Lord is perfect.
What's that?
The law of the Lord is perfect.
So it said the law of the Lord. The law of the Lord is the commandments of God.
Right.
Let's say now we're dealing with the commandment of thou shalt not kill. I want to ask you, almost all the percentage of blacks and Hispanics would not kill each other. What would the murder rate be? What you think it would be? It'd be 0%.
Right.
I'm gonna ask you, if we kept the commandment of thou shalt not kill, do you think the prison system would still be in business? It wouldn't, right? Read that again.
Bring it out.
The law of the Lord is perfect.
That's how the laws of God are perfect. Because when you keep the laws of God, it makes a perfect community. It makes a perfect environment. It makes a perfect world for us to live in.
That's right.
Because right now, we are not comfortable living the way we live right now.
Black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.